Hey guys, it's Deepika here and welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, we actually would be discussing about my pre-preparation before I became an international student here in the UK. So I just wanted to tell you a brief of what exactly I had done and how exactly it started, so that just in case anyone wants to be a student, they possibly would be able to help themselves with this particular video. So without wasting any time, let's get started with the video and see what other things that we actually did to land a seat here in one of the UK universities. So the first thing as to how it started was with me casually browsing through my Instagram after a tiring day from work. I just got back and I was just browsing through Instagram, quite frustrated that particular day, and I just came across this particular ad from IDP informing that they are actually they actually are having an education fair, and this was for 3 countries. One was US, UK, and Ireland. I guess it was Ireland. I'm not sure of the third one too, but US and UK was for sure. So I just, while scrolling through the details as to what exactly this is about, I was told that, not exactly told, but I just read that it was in Taj Vivanta, the one near 1MG Mall in Bangalore. So yeah, that particular that particular hotel had this particular education fair that was being conducted, and this was by IDP. And since IDP was actually one of the institutions that I have already contacted previously, I had called them again and asked them for these details, and they told, since they already had my profile, they told that the person who was already discussing my profile would be contacting me and will give me the details about what exactly should be done and what are the requirements. So the person called me, and somewhere around evening, the same day itself, they contacted me and she asked me for my CV, the current CV, the education details that I have completed, the soft copy of all my certificates, and also a brief of what exactly I am looking for. So before this, when I had contacted her, I did a little bit of an R&D about subjects and modules that possibly could be taken for various masters, and that is aligned with my career. So having done all these things, I pretty much felt like an IT management or a project management course is something that would suit my career. So I had informed her that this is the profile that I am looking for, and she had told that there are universities who are actually providing this particular course, and maybe she would be able to help just in case I come to the education fair, wherein there are multiple universities who would be there, and I would be able to speak to them face to face and understand what are the requirements that is possibly required for this particular course. So yeah, I had accepted, I agreed. She scheduled me for that particular education fair, and I landed there. It was on a weekend. I had an off from my work, so I went there and met the person who spoke to me, and she said that she has shortlisted about 10 universities for me, for my profile, the one that I'm looking for, and I could go speak to the representative who were there inside. And this was about like 30-40 universities who had come, of which 10 university is all that I had to like go ahead and speak. And I was actually looking for a Jan intake. I did clarify everything to them. For me, in my case, I have done my BSc, I've done my MBA, but the thing is that my BSc and MBA is through correspondence, and also I have not done it continuously. So I have done my BSc, and then I was actually working through this also. And after this, when I was working, when I felt that it is better for me to have an MBA in my career, I did an MBA for in information system, because I was at that given point of time in the IT industry that I was working in. So I felt it would be better for me to have an IT related career, certification, or rather a degree. So I did an MBA in information system in MBA. So again, like I said, it is not a very straightforward college. Again, possibly a CAT exam and then gets into MBA. It wasn't that straightforward. But having said that, my career was quite at the same pace. It didn't have any maybe minor gap in between while I am changing domain. I was initially working in the BPO domain and then got into uh, say the IT domain. So at that given point of time, there was some 6 months or something sort of a gap. Apart from that, there was a gap during my MBA exam and COVID. So that almost happened at the same time. So that these are the major gaps that I've possibly had in my career. So I had gone ahead and uh, uh, you know told them briefly about all these things and told them that this is exactly what it is, and do you think that my profile would be something that your university would be able to consider for me to do a master's? Because at this point of time, I was considering multiple countries, say Canada. I did think of New Zealand and Australia also, but unfortunately, all these places, didn't have a master, which was 1 year one, and 1 year courses mostly were PG diplomas, in all these countries. So for me, I wanted, I since I was already working, I already had a career. I wouldn't be able to take a complete break of say around 2 years. That's quite a long gap. So I thought anywhere between 1 year should be convincing for me to be taking a break just in case, and also like getting back to my career again. So that is the reason I chose UK, because UKA has masters in for 1 year, and it is not a PG diploma. So obviously the value of your certification or your degree is obviously higher. And also since it is UK, it is a degree that is quite valid everywhere, it is quite considered everywhere. So I was good to go with UK. That is how I had selected the country that I wanted to visit. And also as far as universities are concerned, like I said, 10 universities were shortlisted. I spoke to everybody. Not everybody gave a positive response. Of the 10 university, it was 4 university who gave me positive responses, and the others did tell that they have concerns in people with educational gap or things like that. So yeah, I was fine with it. I mean, like, each university have their own rules and regulations, which should be fine. And so I went ahead and shortlisted these 4 universities, got back home, did an R&D about the kind of courses that they are offering. Though I did speak to them, they did explain to me about the kind of courses, but I wanted to check the modules in detail as to what exactly I was looking for, because I didn't want to do something just for the sake of it and have modules that is completely against what I am possibly doing at this given point of time. So I had gone ahead and checked all the modules for all these universities. And when I checked the module again, the 4 university got shortlisted to 2, because 2 university who had actually accepted my profile. Okay, the 4 university who accepted my profile was Kile, University of Sussex, Edinburgh, Edinburgh Napier, and Leeds Beckett. So these are the 4 universities who accepted my profile, but asked me to get back to them after my initial decision. So yeah, I went ahead and checked. Keele and University of Sussex didn't have the course that I wanted to do in the Jan intake. They did have the course, but unfortunately they didn't have a Jan intake, and I was looking for a Jan intake course. So I had to shift to Edinburgh and Leeds Beckett. So while I was doing Edinburgh and Leeds Beckett, I did check the course module, a few of which had a little bit of a issue with the module, but it was not completely not something that I didn't want to be doing of sorts, both the universities. So I did contact both the university. I just wrote an email to them informing that this is what I am actually looking for, and that uh, these are the courses and this is the intake that I'm looking for, of which I did receive a communication from both of them. Edinburgh responded back saying that the Jan intake is still not open, and this was around June or July. They told that it is still not open, and they are still doing the September intake routine. So when I contacted Leeds Beckett, they did say that I can possibly connect with my coordinator in IDP and get all the processes done about the documents and things like that. Meanwhile, they will have the process started for the intake of the Jan intake, and possibly we would be able to work on the admission, is what the response was. So after all these things, I had gone ahead and contacted my IDP coordinator about this particular email, after which we had again started working on our profile. We started checking to see what are the transcript. I had to get my transcript, so I went ahead and applied for my transcript. And I had also got, how do I say, like my IELTS preparation. So there is another information that I would like to share. My IELTS of late, I mean, like right now the immigration rules keep changing, so I am not quite sure as to what it is at this given point of time. But when I did it, IELTS was not a requirement for the CBSE and ICSE students who have got more than 75% in their English language. But in case you are an SSLC student, you had to like take up IELTS and had to get at least 6.5 band. So after the discussion, so yeah, like I said, I completed I didn't complete IELTS by then, but I at least started preparing for it. She did say that I will have to be preparing for my IELTS and also have my transcripts ready. She also spoke to me about LOR, SOP. So all these things were being worked on somewhere around July to September. So all these work was like ongoing around July to September, almost October actually. So only by the mid to end of October is when I actually received my transcripts from the university. So this almost took like 2 months time. So I had to work on my SOP. She asked me to write my SOP about the kind of education I've had and the kind of career aspirations I have, and what exactly I am doing, what are the gaps I have in my career, what are the gaps I have in my education, what are the reason that possibly because of which you had a career gap or an education gap. Every single information had to be mentioned in the SOP. So I had everything written, and my SOP was rejected twice by IDP, saying that it doesn't sound very convincing. So they want an SOP which is 100% foolproof, that sounds convincing, and it shouldn't be like you're just doing something for the sake of it. It should be like you are actually aspiring to be doing something, and this is exactly what you want to be doing, and why you want to be possibly is why you selected UK as a destination for your education. And every single information will have to be informed, which after all the R&D that possibly happened, I went ahead and got that particular detail sorted and got my SOP finalized. So after this, after my SOP, somewhere around, I believe, mid of October, and when all these things were happening, also my career, my work process that I was actually working, the project that I was actually working was uh, actually going out of the place that I was working. So I actually had a little bit of a dilemma, so a situation where I didn't know what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. But one good thing in the company that I worked is, in case there is a situation where I am out of the process, I would be given another process where I would be able to attend interviews, which is exactly what happened to me in my career at that given point of time. So all of this is like simultaneously happening. This is not like one after the other. So when that was happening, again by October, I was told to attend another interview, because the process was not there anymore. So I went ahead, attended the interview, and say somewhere around end of August, I got an I got a conditional offer. Okay, so when I got the conditional offer, like I said, I was already preparing for it, which is why it went all the way until October. So my process not being in place and my unconditional offer was almost at the same time. By the end of August is when I actually got to know about this, and by almost the end of August is when I got to know that this process is possibly moving on to a different place from where I was working. And I had actually uh, got the other interview also attended meanwhile. So when I actually was having all these things done, I had already applied for my transcript almost before my almost exactly during the time of the unconditional offer. So after I had got my unconditional offer, much before it, I was already planning to get my transcript. So much before, say around the beginning of September, I had already planned a trip to get the transcript done. So after the transcript was sorted, I mean, like, it took about 2 days for me to get everything sorted and have the payments done and everything. And since I was like quite worried, I went all the way to the university itself to get the transcript by myself, and I actually got the transcript by myself in person. And they told that this particular transcript can be applied, but it would be sent only via post. They do not give transcript in hand. So I waited for it. That almost took like another 2 weeks from the beginning of September. So that is almost like till mid of September I didn't have my transcript. Along with this, I was also preparing for my IELTS. So my IELTS actually was about 7.5 band. I was a 7.5 band, and this was taken up in the month of October. Around mid of October, end of October of sorts, is when I had already like got all these things sorted, and my IELTS also had been received, and LOR was something that I had already applied when I was working. And my manager asked for some approval as to what exactly I am applying it for, and I told him the reason, and he approved it for me. I got the LOR also. So pretty much by say around end of October of sorts, I had all my documents with me, my transcript, my uh, unconditional offer, my conditional offer, my transcript, my LOR, and all the documents that's required along with the transcripts. So having said that, I sent across my documents. Everything was sent to the IDP person. Another thing is that universities usually, in case you are going through any services like say IDP or a Leap Scholar or anyone like that, you will have to be going only via them. You would not be able to surpass them and do things by yourself, given that you have selected a form that you are authorizing them to be doing all these things, and they would be taking it further. They are the ones who will have to be taking it further. You would not be able to surpass them and go into the educational institutions people representative and get things sorted accordingly. Though you would be able to get in touch with them, but you cannot surpass the services that you've already taken. So that is another information. So yeah, I got back to IDP, and unfortunately, when these things were happening, the university people in India, that is, the university that I was selected, Leeds Beckett, was actually on leave for Dasara. So that particular point of time, I had to like again wait until November, almost beginning of November, and from almost mid of October to beginning of November, I had to like wait, unfortunately. And that again got on my nerve, because obviously it is quite scary. A, you actually are waiting for you are working in a process that's possibly quite volatile. B, you have an opportunity. In fact, that particular interview that I was speaking about, I had cleared that interview, and unfortunately I had already kept them informed, telling that this is what the situation is and there's a possibility of me leaving given that I have received this. So it was quite a a traumatic sort of a situation for me, because having a career, I am pretty much taking that kind of a risk of giving up on a career that I already have, and I'm like doing something that is completely unknown. So that was a little bit of a nightmare for me. So yeah, once all those things were done, I took up the decision. I thought maybe I will make sure that once I have all these things in place, I will go ahead and pursue my dream. Maybe there's something much better for this. I convince myself, and I inform the team, telling that this is the in a situation and I possibly would not be able to join that particular team. And I also informed them about the reason, what exactly it is, and I had already kept them informed much in advance, so there was no such glitches or any issues as far as my career is concerned. From there, it was a smooth exit.